Welcome back to another episode of ROC Boys Football. Today we're taking a look at the 2022 Heisman Trophy winner odds. Obviously, very early in the summer. A lot of stuff needs to be sorted out in the transfer portal, injuries, all that type of stuff. But we're taking a look at some of the best value picks, who we think are going to win the Heisman Trophy, because it's college football season. It's the summer. That means college football season. Dill.
The game never sleeps every
It really doesn't. It's always football season. We appreciate you guys rocking with us, checking out the content during the summer. We know it's a little bit of a dead period for college football, but you guys who are watching the videos, subscribing to the channel, we appreciate you guys. Dill, let's get into it. I'm going to kick it to you. Most probable winner of this Heisman Trophy.
I honestly think it's CJ Stroud at this point. I think
Yep.
I'd be willing to give it to Bryce Young. I think Jordan Addison will really, put Bryce Young really close to me. In terms of like, if I was going to take one of these bets, it might start to move towards Bryce Young. But right now, I think CJ Stroud, he's got way better odds than Bryce Young. And I mean, they're going to put up monster numbers, both of them. They should be both really good teams. Granted, Bam will probably be better and more of a title contender at this point. But Ohio State's always really good. So that's probably where I'd lean.
Yeah, if you're asking me just gun to head who's going to win the Heisman, I think it has to be CJ Stroud. Just surrounded by so much talent. You thought like his talent was good last year with Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, Jackson Smith-Njigba. I think it's just as good. Trayvon Henderson coming back for his second year. He's going to be just as good. And he might be the only guy that I'm worried about kind of stealing the show at Ohio State. I think he's that good. But you got a ton of young wide receivers. Julian Fleming, a former top 5 guy in the country. Emeka Egbuka, Harrison, G. Scott, and obviously Jackson Smith-Njigba. Absolutely loaded weaponry for this dude to throw to. He's going to have a good O-line. It wasn't good last year, but I think it's going to be a little bit better this year. I think CJ Stroud is definitely the favorite in my eyes, but I wouldn't necessarily take him at plus 400, plus 350. So, Dill, what's your best value pick? You're looking at the odds. Who do you think is the guy that, if you were to make a bet, who are you betting on?
I mean, I think it'd probably have to be Quinn Ewers at this point, just because he's the only one getting a huge long shot for a guy who, if things work out, he's up a little bit. By the way,
he's that fast.
Plus 3,000 on the first line. So, but thinking of the elite quarterbacks, I guess you don't really know what Quinn Ewers is, but you know he's super talented. And you know that Texas offense is loaded to the gills, and Sarkisian is a guy who you can win a Heisman with. So I think he's the only one who I'd really kind of get excited to take, just because I think he's getting odds like he's got no chance almost. But I think if he does end up starting, he certainly does.
I'm going to sell the listeners a little bit better than you did. He's my pick. I'm very confident. I don't take a ton of Heisman props. Not much value in it, but Quinn Ewers might be a guy. If a book offers 50-1 odds on him, I think that's just crazy good value. And here's why: Ohio State, Alabama, CJ Stroud, Bryce Young, they kind of two favorites. They also have a lot of guys around them who are also very good. Quinn Ewers does too, but that defense stinks, and they're going to be forced to just open it up on that offensive side of the ball. And Quinn Ewers, if he's the starting quarterback, which would be an absolute coward move by Sarkisian.
It'd just be stupid. It's give the people what they want.
Yeah, what do you want to go 7-5, or do you want to have a shot at going 11-1 and competing for a conference title and a spot in the playoffs? Because Quinn Ewers allows you to do that. Yes, he's still young. He should be a true freshman right now coming into the year. He has a year under his belt at Ohio State, but it has to do more with just the talent around him. I mean, Xavier Worthy, if they bag Jordan Addison, that's going to be insane. They get the Wyoming Isaiah Nair, Jaleel Billingsley. I mean, the talent is just stupid around Quinn Ewers. Quinn Ewers is one of the most, if not the most talented quarterback in the country. And he's on a team where he's going to be forced to play into the fourth quarter in these shootouts. I mean, this dude's going to put up crazy numbers. I think I might take it if I can get
problem is he might not win enough games. Texas, if they're bad again, what they've been for the last 5 years, you need to be so generationally good, and it's going to be tough to, I think, knock off some of these big dogs at the top who are going 11-1 or 12-0.
Yep.
If Texas ends up like 6-6 or something, like, and that's not out of the realm of possibility because Texas has
absolutely
not been good enough. Their defense is still horrific, so we'll see. But that's probably the only real value, is kind of how I see it.
If this offense even achieves 80% of what the value of this team, like 80% of what the potential is on that offense, Quinn Ewers is going to put up some crazy numbers as long as he can take care of the football, which supposedly in spring camp and in the spring game seemed to be a little bit of a problem. As he develops a little bit more during fall camp and takes care of the football, cuts down on those turnovers, I do think there is some really, really good value. And then finally, let's just take a look at a little bit of a dark horse, guys who have like 50-1 or plus odds to win the Heisman. Dill, do you have any guy in mind there that you're taking a look at?
Braelon Allen and Hendon Hooker at plus
Braelon
6,000
Allen.
a pop. Braelon Allen, God, that's in my brain, so that's tough. But
yeah, 60-1.
Braelon Allen has the ilk of the Jonathan Taylor
absolutely
vibe. So it's like when you play that way at Wisconsin and you can run the ball for getting up around 2,000 yards, which I think is very much in the possibility for him.
Mm-hmm.
You certainly start to put yourself with a chance, and he's gonna get no respect because Wisconsin never does. And running backs obviously have been winning the award lately, but I think if he can really put together a year like he had last year, start the whole year and maybe even improve a little bit, he should probably be in the conversation at least. So such good odds. He's not doesn't seem like a horrible pick.
He's also a guy that's only going to get better. I mean, he was a true freshman last year. Trayvon Henderson, you saw kind of dominate college football last year.
And he's 100% bulky. He doesn't split the carries with anyone.
Yeah,
he doesn't split the carries with their wideouts either. So
I would expect him to get like that John Taylor treatment. I mean, that's Wisconsin and Paul Chris. They've done that in the past where they just run those running backs right into the ground. 250 plus carries for that RB1. Braelon Allen almost assuredly will be that RB1. He will assuredly be that RB1 if he does stay healthy. He's going to be a guy that's putting up 15 plus 100 rushing yards. I'm going to go with the running back too, but I'm going to go with Jamir Gibbs from Alabama. A guy that just, I mean, yeah, I get Bryce Young's there, but Jamir Gibbs at 100-1 or 80-1, this guy is special. And from what I've been reading from the beat reporters at Alabama, he's making the guys on defense, really good guy, one of the best defenses in the country, Alabama, just looking silly. And he's a guy that can do it both. Like I could see him run for over 1,000 yards, but also catch for like 750 yards. I have no clue why he decided to go to Georgia Tech to start his career. Third year in college football. He's electric in space. And Nick Saban hasn't really had a running back who kind of plays that role. He's the Derrick Henry, Trent Richardson, Najee
big,
Harris.
heavy runners.
Guys who kind of thrive between the tackles. They're going to have a great offensive line. And if you can scheme him touches creatively, I think he's going to be an absolute dynamite player. And one of the more slept on players in college football.
For them, Najee was probably the closest to an all-around back, and he put numbers up that were very much Heisman level.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, it was in the year where Mac Jones just killed the whole season, so they couldn't really give it to him. But yeah, I mean, the only worry I have with Gibbs is he gonna be the focal point of the offense? Is kind of because he is more of a scat back, and I think being the scat back. Not to say he can't take the carries, but what is he going to get much more than 15? I'd really be surprised.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That's the one of the things why his odds are pushed down a little bit. And you have a guy like Trey Sanders who also is really good. But that's the thing with him is he doesn't need all the carries to. I mean, he averaged 6.5 yards per carry his true freshman year at Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech stinks. I mean, they're horrible, and he was averaging 6.5 yards per carry. The worry is he going to get even like 150 carries on the year? Or are they going to really split it with Trey Sanders? But the reason why I think it's such a good value is he's going to get a lot of work out of the backfield. I think they're going to try to get him the ball, swing passes kind of in the flat, get him in space, make a linebacker miss. And I think you're going to see a lot of splash plays with him. And if they can use him effectively, get the ball out to him quickly, I think he's going to put up like 750 receiving yards. His highlights are nuts. I mean, punt returner, kick returner.
I mean, he's so good. That's not like I don't doubt the talent. I just doubt the
volume.
are they going to commit to him? Is he going to be their guy? Because he's probably going to need to be. I mean, that's the worry you have with the Trayvon Henderson, because he's, in my opinion, like far and away the best running back in this group. Like maybe Bijan's close.
Yes.
But I think Trayvon Henderson is a notch above personally. And the problem with him is how is he going to get the load he needs? Because he's going to make explosive plays. He's going to do his thing. But they're going to throw the ball 50 times a game. So it's going to get tough to get the
backfield too, who's also a really good running back. I don't think he holds a candle to Trayvon Henderson, but I think I could see them certainly when they're winning 30 against Purdue. Like Williams is going to get a lot of those touches. Unless it's a tight game, you can certainly see them kind of split the load, keep them fresh for kind of that latter half of the season when you're playing Michigan, trying to go win the Big Ten title. That's the worry about running backs. If you're not taking a running back who's kind of that workhorse guy,
that's why it has to be a Braelon Allen or even Kenny Walker from. I mean, the fact that he wasn't even in the conversation was stupid, obviously.
Yeah, absolutely.
But you need to be that guy. You need to get your 30 carries a game. You need to hit a couple big ones, which is essentially why I think Braelon Allen at least has a shot, but it's not like a great one.
Yeah, now I'll put one more before we close out the show. Hendon Hooker from Tennessee. He was one of the best, he was one of the best quarterbacks in the country last year towards the second half of the season.
It's so ridiculous that he didn't start. I almost feel like Heupel should have been fired for that alone, but he didn't.
Exactly.
He'll be back.
Exactly. But Hendon Hooker is a guy, they play really fast. They don't have a particularly good defense. And so similarly to Quinn Ewers, they are going to be in shootouts. They're going to try to be outscoring the opponent as opposed to just beating the opponent.
And he's great. He can actually sling it. Once he got out of the shadow of the Virginia Tech, like, just run the ball with a gross, stupid, poorly designed offense, like, he looked awesome. So I think he's not even getting the respect he deserves yet because he didn't start the year last year. So I just think people sleep on him. But the guy can sling it absolutely, and he can run. You knew he could do that at Virginia Tech, but took a big step forward with throwing. So I think he's actually got really good value. Realistically, probably better than Braelon Allen in the direction the game goes.
Yeah.
No, I just want Braelon Allen.
Yeah, Braelon Allen. I'll throw out two guys that I think maybe just are you can't take. DJU. After what you saw last year and how
makes no sense.
Probably going to play. They're going to play kind of like what Georgia played last year. They don't have very particularly good offensive line. They don't have particularly explosive guys around DJ. They're going to play a lot more complementary football.
He also might not even start, so you gotta get past that hurdle.
Yeah, so I would definitely lay off him. Keaton Slovis is another guy that I would probably lay off. But
Jack Miller.
Yeah, Jack Miller's not going to
totally get that one.
Jack Miller's just quite frankly not going to start. I love how they have like John Mechie listed here too. Devin Leary is kind of a long shot guy too. Sean Tucker from Syracuse, 300-1. They're just going to suck. Keyshawn Boutte is another one maybe. I mean, he's awesome. He was going to be in the Heisman conversation last year if he stayed healthy. Now you
just need to rely too much on the quarterback, and I don't think they're there. So
yes, that's fine. I agree with that.
You need to be really good. You need to have a pro throwing you the ball.
Any other guys you want to mention before we wrap up here?
I'm good. I'm tapped out. I don't think Bijan Robinson's crazy. I think he's got okay odds. And he's
I actually have a quick question for you. Will Anderson.
Do you?
No.
They don't give deep. It's like, it's fun, and it's fun that Hutchinson was there, but you knew he wasn't going to win it. He had obviously insane stats, and Michigan had a absolute banner year, which he was the driver. So I mean, it's fun. If he gets better, though, what is he going to put up 22 sacks or something?
My thing is, it's not necessarily if he gets, because if he plays at that same level and there isn't a standout guy, like Bryce Young kind of went and took it away after that SEC championship performance.
Yeah.
But if there's not like a standout offensive guy, people are going to be crying for Will Anderson because he kind of got gypped last year. Like, he was probably the best player in college football last year. Didn't even.
Problem is, there's two standouts at quarterback.
Yes, I agree.
Even more so than last year, where there were no standouts. So
yeah.
Besides maybe Bryce Young, but even he was more of a late riser.
He's a fun one though, and people are going to be banging.
He's a fun one.
He definitely got a little disrespected last year. But that will do it for our Heisman preview. We probably will do another one as fall camp wraps up and we get into the beginning of the season just to kind of see the updated odds, maybe find some more sleepers, find some more value. But it is fun to talk about which guys will be the best player in college football. We appreciate you guys rocking with the ROC Boys, and we'll be back with some more 2022 college football videos later. Peace, y'all.